would like to cordially welcome you in Prague and welcome you on behalf of the Careers Around Me project, as well as the National Training Fund, Národní vzdělávací fond, which is hosting this event. This event is a launching event of European Career Week that will be held next week in all partner countries, and the partners will organize several seminars, workshops, social and professional events in their countries. And we are launching this. What we have on the program, we have quite a lot workshops here. We will start with workshop 1, which is divided into 2 parts. First will be roundtable on Careers Around Me project. You will be introduced to the partnership. You will be introduced also to the project outcomes. The second part of the first workshop will be focused on 6 areas of the career management skills framework that was produced by the partnership. After the coffee break, we will have a workshop on using the career management skills in school environment and in school career education. Third workshop will be focused on using career management skills in higher education, in universities, and it will be focused on how to use possibilities, how to use career management skills framework in academic career services. Then we will have lunch that will be served in the hotel restaurant. You all are invited to join us. And after lunch, there will be another workshop focused on using career management skills in vocational education and training. And then will be the 5th workshop focused on career management skills in public employment services. This workshop will be streamed because Petr Weber from Germany couldn't attend this meeting. And after this meeting will be workshop 6, field framework. We will discuss experience of practical activities, how to promote and development career management skills. There will be a session about evaluating activities to develop career management skills, and we will finish with a final round table. So this is introduction of the event, and I would like to start the round table on Careers Around Me project.
Thank you, Susanna. Thank you, everyone. I will kindly ask you to be a bit patient because we're streaming online, so sometimes we will need a little break to set up things, and then we will move on. 1 second, we plug this computer so we can project and you can also follow. So welcome again. Now you should be able to see that, yes? So we can start with workshop number 1, which is why we're doing this project and what that is about. With me, there will be Andrea, who is the project manager of the project from University of Camerino, which is the lead partner of the project. So few words before passing on to Andrea. So as people say, let's start with why. Why are we talking about career management skills? Why a project on these? Usually when we work with students, we ask them to give 3 words to describe the landscape of contemporary society. And if we ask students from every age, adults and whoever, citizens in the world, usually these are the factors that come out. I have added one recently. So usually people talk about the impact of technology as a main driver of change, of the sustainability challenge and environmental challenge. We talk about internationalization and a world that is connected. We talk about demographic changes. We talk about the pandemic event as a main factor that shaped the world recently, the recent war as well. So if we need to portray the scenario of the world today, we're talking about a fast-changing world, and specifically a fast-changing world of work with major challenges which are shaping and challenging the individuals in building their own biographies. So this is, if we want, a portrait of today's contemporary landscape. And this is a challenge, as I said. In a society which is defined as volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous, building our own biographies becomes a challenge. And to do so, we need a paradigm shift in terms of career guidance. We cannot talk anymore about a test and tell paradigm or a matching paradigm. You're good at this, I test you, and then I tell you what you can be advised to do or what you should do. We cannot talk about this anymore. So a matching paradigm should be, in a way, we need to move on. And what is recommended is that we need to start talking about what is called career management skills. And this is not something new. This comes from more than 10 years of work. And I want to share with you the definition provided by the European Lifelong Guidance Policy Network from 2010, which I'm sure you're familiar with. So when we talk about career management skills, we talk about a range of competencies which provide structured ways for individuals and groups to gather, analyze, synthesize, and organize information about self, educational, and occupational aspects, together with the skills to make and implement decisions and transitions. So this is the definition from ELGPN. If we want to focus on these 3 keywords, the first one, I will start from the last, is skills. So as I said, we're moving from a matching paradigm to a learning paradigm where we want to equip citizens with those skills which will enable each individual to navigate in a complex world. And this is an empowerment type of process, and we will focus on a learning approach. The second word is management. Citizens need to be proactive in a continuous development and planning process. We need to actively manage our career path. And last but not least, the word career, which in many languages only refers to choices of types of work and professional life, while in the etymological way, career is the direction we want to give to our lives. And these includes different aspects, not only work. So when we talk about career, we talk about something more comprehensive. So career management skills with this perspective. As I said, this comes from several pieces of work done in different settings, and at the European level, a lot of work has been done. And I would like to pass the word to Andrea for an historical overview on European documentation and where these topics comes out. Andrea?
Hello, good morning, everyone. I'm Andrea Marconi from the University of Camerino. As Anita told, I'm the project manager of this Career Around Me K-Activity 3 project, and I'm very glad to be here. This project is follow several activities that carry on during 2 years, and they have a long history based on career management skills, framework, and logics. And my presentation is just... Sorry, just... Oh, okay. As Anita said, we start to work on this topic several years ago when everybody know about the shifting paradigm that occur for career guidance services, also in our universities. We found a very regional and local huge environment to work on these topics. So we try to define what does it mean competencies, what does it mean for a university, improve competencies that are not typically technical competencies, but soft skills. And we try to define our roadmap to introduce these components in our services, try to improve quality assurance, not only for didactic self-research, but also for services. And what we try to do, we try to have a focus on the main document and contents that are based for the career management skills framework, not only in Europe, but also worldwide. And starting from the definition of Jervis that Anita said, we try to define what does it mean competencies, soft skills for our university, for career guidance offices, and also for early guidance in order to support schools in introducing students in the academic careers or in the labor market. And one of the main documents that support our thoughts and our work is developed by CEDEFOP. Everybody knows this document. And we found this document very important because not only focus on the definition of competencies based on Jervis definition, but also try to introduce this competence in a concrete and real world that could be then implemented by services at local, regional, and national level. In Italy, starting from this 2009, the ministry tried to introduce a law that could be useful to accept the resolution of the European Union from 2004-2008, then we are going to see also this, and try to get the element of this document, professionalized career guidance, practitioners' competencies and qualification routes in Europe, try to introduce this element of competencies, cognitive competencies, that are the main concept for the changing paradigm that is at the base of this kind of project. And as well also try to define what kind of competencies could be useful to be implemented in students and what kind of knowledge is the baseline for practitioners in order to be focused on the career management skills. And also the document introduces another important aspect, that is the ethical and values that are not specifically faced by other approaches that are at that moment in Europe. So we found very interesting to have a focus on this document in order to try to design our services in universities. And so starting from this point, we try to look at the situation at the systemic level, and we found that it was very interesting. Found that in overall, in different countries, in different continents, there are developing framework for this, starting from the USA framework, and then Canada and Australia, and also in Europe. There are between 2009 2012, a lot of countries and continents try to develop the frameworks in this sense, try to improve cognitive competencies and try to support student and institution passing from what Anita said, test and tell, from something that could be more learning-based, student-centered based approach. and try to define the way in order to create our own framework. We try to understand what does it mean the blueprint for the Scotland system, try to understand what does it mean the paradigm, the blueprint from the USA point of view, and we focus on our own roadmap in order to improve the services at academic level. Another important element that support this process of brainstorming, this process of the service design, was also the study and research that the European Lifelong Guidance Policy Network carried on during this period, and support also very well the work of the CEDEFOP. And during this period, the LPG was able to define for the first time the career management skill frameworks, as everybody knows. So this is the first point that inspired lots of projects in Europe, a lot of network that work on the field, and also inspired the University of Camerino, Pluriversum, and our partners in Europe in order to define a project that could support these new researches and studies. So starting from the first document in 2008, we tried to follow the line of the research just to arrive at the quality assurance aspects of the career management skills framework, because it's not only a change of paradigm in terms of activities and services, but it's also a guideline for improve the quality of the services. Now we could be very focused trying mapping the improvement of the competencies, the improvement of the skills that the student grow during their academic careers, because we have a framework that could support instruments, tools for measure, mapping, and monitoring the improvement of our students, not only in terms of knowledge, but also in terms of soft skills development. And here we are. Not only research and study are important for an academic institution. Also, the rules, the norms, the European regulation are important. And in between 2004 and 2008, two resolutions have published by the Educational Council and are very important for the national regulation and development. After 4 years, in 2012, in Italy, was introduced the law for lifelong guidance, and career management skills was introduced for the first time in our country. More or less, all the countries in Europe in that period introduced for the first time the concept of career management skills in terms of rules and law. Several work table, round table, national round table grow up all over Europe. And this was based on this resolution, mainly try to face these 4 points, in order to pinpoint several futures that could be summarized in this highlights: the development of career management skills, the accessibility of services, the quality assurance and evidence-based for policy and system development, and the coordination of services. So a lot of roundtable grow up among not only university or schools, but among universities, schools, public employment services companies that are very interesting in trying to understand what does it mean the improvement of career management skills, in order to evaluate not only the improvement of their employees in terms of technical competencies, but also in terms of the capacity to create team building, to improve their relationship with the peers, and so on. And the proof that this process is continuous in years after years, step by step, little by little, is the resolution for youth guarantee in 2020. Also, in this resolution, we found career management skills at the core of the the recommendation, because career management skills is introduced jointly with entrepreneurship skills, green skills, and digital skills as the main set of skills and competencies that could bridge the gap and the future job mismatch in the youth guarantee. So this is a very important for all the practitioners and experts that work during the years in this field, because they continues found in the European recommendation the evidence of the importance of the career management skills. What we have done during this period at University of Camerino with Pluriversum and all the partners in Europe that to support our ideas, our vision of the development of career management skills are projects, mainly under the case activity 2, because these kind of measures under the Erasmus Plus provide a unique opportunity to share and promote innovation in the field of higher education. It's quite difficult to find this opportunity in other programs at the European level. It's quite difficult to achieve an Horizon 2020 project. It's quite impossible to achieve this to face this kind of themes and futures in the European territorial cooperation. And so we found Erasmus Plus the natural place to try to develop and implement this kind of initiative. In 2015, we decided to create a European network to discuss and to try to define a model for the career management skill framework, a model that could work into the university, that could work in a transversal way from the early guidance to the tutoring, academic tutoring and tutorship, and then for stage and placement services. So we would like to, we imagine to create a framework that could support services from the beginning of the academic careers until after the academic career, for introducing our graduates into the labor market. This is the first project that we try to implement, and we develop tools and book platform for training for training, and also we try to explain the model. That was very important with the pilot action, focus group, and question that would be administered all over the Europe, in order to try understand if the way that we decided to take was the way that all the Europe try to take when we start thinking about career management skill framework. And nowadays we arrive at the Careers Around Me project, that is a natural improvement and development of this regulation, rules, recommendation, study of research, and also a natural development of our projects along the years. Thank you, Anita. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. So, as Andrea said, this is the real continuation of the project progress that we made in the last years. So in 2018, there was a specific call from the European Commission within the key action 3 type of projects, which was about policy reform. So not a project like key action 2, where we work on project results, on specific intellectual output, but a project on policy reform, which is different, within the European forward-looking cooperation projects. Those projects, so that call, had different lines of work, and one of them was specifically, and you can see here with priority 3, promoting innovative technology in the field of providing career guidance. So there was a specific call from the European Commission on improving policies related to career management skills and technology. And in the call, there were 2 main points to work on. The first one was to build a comprehensive catalog of career management skills The second point was to use innovative technology in supporting development of career management skills. So we worked together for the application, and we managed to win the proposal, and here the network of partners in the consortium. So I would like to ask all the partners to introduce themselves. So one by one, you can come up and introduce yourself. Andrea, I will start with you because you are the project coordinator. So a few words, if you want, on University of Camerino as a project leader. You already told us about the history of commitment on this topic, but maybe a few words on where you are in Italy and which type of university you are.
So here we are again. The University of Camerino is an ancient university. It was founded in 1332, and so we have 700 years of history in the academic system of our nation. We are very proud to be sometimes the lead partner of this kind of project, because we are one of the first university in Italy certified for this kind of services. Many universities in Italy are certified for didactic and research. Not too much are certified for services. So this is the reason why we are very focused on this kind of project. We are a scientific university. We have all the degree that affects scientific and technological matters, and we are we are situated in the middle of Italy, in the Marche region. And during the year, we demonstrated that are able to overcome many problem and difficult situation. Try to be always centered in our students when they come, when the pandemic crisis come, and we try to stay focused on our students in order to improve the quality of our services. And this is the University of Camerino. We are a small university, 8,000 students. We are spread in 4 campuses in Camerino, Ascoli Piceno, San Benedetto, and Materica. And we expect come and visit our university. Susanna?
Thank you. So my name is Zuzana Freibergová, and I work for National Training Fund, Národní vzdělávací fond, which is nowadays it is a very small NGO. Our director office is very near here, near in Opletala Street. But several years ago, maybe it is already 10 years ago, we have been sitting in this passage with there is now a hotel, I think, called Elise. But because we were in these times we were growing and the premises were not so big, so we moved to another building, which we filled up. We were nearly 100%, but then something changed, and we had 60% that were working for technical administration of European money, and the law on public procurement changed, and we lost the big project. And from this time, we are slowly decreasing the number of employees. And I must say that nowadays we are maybe not full 10. And I'm very happy that my colleagues from Observatory of Employment and Training are also present here. And we can say that maybe we are here half of the employees now. I work for my department name is Career Services Support Unit, and this is what we did and what I am doing now. I do not have any employees because my projects are very, very, very small. The other project, it's also Erasmus Plus, and we are inventing a new online game the name is City Full of Occupations, and we are still somehow inventing new things, but hopefully the game will go will be ready in the end of May. We also prolonged the project for half year because of the COVID situation, and we had the opportunity to prolong it. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe I can say also that the name is the name of our institute, National Training Fund, is very funny because in the beginning we have been established by the Ministry of Social Affairs. And in fact, one department of the ministry was taken and was established Národní vzdělávací fond, National Training Fund, and we really did provided training courses for managers of industry. But then it was not needed, and we changed our specialization. We became more technical support for the European Fund, and the other part of the people, 40-something, were doing research on employment and human resources and quality in social services, and so on, and so on. And the name remained. So nowadays we are not national, we are not training, and we are not fund. Yeah. But it's something that has a history, and behind Observatory of Training and Employment, there is a lot of very quality work, not only on domestic but also in international field. They are members of ReferNet, and I hope that you see my age, and I am about to retire very, very early, but I hope that the observatory will survive this not very easy years of National Training Fund. So thank you.
Thank you, Susanne. Good morning, everybody. My name is Wolfgang Bliem. I am from IBW Austria, Research and Development in VET. As the name says, we are working in the field of research and development in all fields of vocational education and training, including also career guidance, which means in our case that we develop materials, online platforms, written materials, didactical materials in all fields of career guidance for different target groups, for young people, for adults, for teachers, for career guidance counselors, and so on and so on. IBW has around 50 employees at the moment, and in our team we work with 4 staff members, and I'm very happy that they are all here today, so they all can join in presence this event, which is not so common that we have the possibility to travel as a whole team, so that's very, very nice for us. IBW is located in Vienna, and we mention ourselves always as this competence center for apprenticeship training in Austria. That means that everything is related to apprenticeship training in Austria has something to do with our institution. We develop apprenticeship professions, or we make materials for information about apprenticeships. We develop final examinations. We develop learning materials for apprentices to prepare for the final examinations. We also are working in the field of quality assurance in apprenticeship training, and so on and so on. So we are very close to this topic, but also to other topics in the field of vocational education and training. And especially in career guidance, we have a long tradition in working together with different institutions, with the Ministry of Education, with career guidance services of the Austrian Economic Chamber, with career guidance services in other institutions, with the Public Employment Service. So we are very close related to this field, and also have the possibility in Europe within CEDEFOP to represent Austria in the CareersNet and to represent Austria in the ReferNet of CEDEFOP. So thank you very much. Who's next?
Hello, thank you, welcome. Hello, my name is Marcela Claudia Kalineci. I am from Romania, Cemebraie. I'm very happy to be here because we have the model, we have paradigm, we have the policies, but very important are people. We are school counselors, 215 approximately school counselors in Romania, and we implement all this vision. It's very important because in Romania, school counselors working very closely with teachers, with parents, and with students. So all the resources are very important for us, especially for teachers, especially for students, to reach and to fulfill their potential. We are very happy to be here, and we are a little bit as I don't know the word, as very as a children who discover all the time many beautiful things, really, because all this paradigm, all these things, all this policy, all these resources for us represent, as Vienna, I said, a treasure for us, really, because all the materials represent fundamental, important for our students in Romania, especially because now we implement a new curriculum based on the competencies, and for us it's very important. Thank you very much.
Few words on another Italian partner, and then okay, come. So, as technical assistance to the project, we've got CityNet.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. I'm Giordano Sanchioni. I'm the CEO of the CityNet, a small private company that provides a digital platform, counseling for digital transformation process, and platform to manage complex system for public government system and for private association. We are 10 people, and we are a small company, and we work with several universities in Italy, 14 years. And since 2014, we started a new division of our company named Edustat that to work in educational field, and we prepare a platform, and today we present the platform that work on University of Camerino with Denmark. And that's all. Thank you.
I am from Centro Studi Pluriversum, which is an Italian small medium enterprise. We are around 200 counselors and practitioners, and we work in different areas of Italy on different lines of work. We work as consultants for regional authorities on topics like career guidance and policies related to career guidance, and we work at the moment with several regions. We also work within a consortium to provide career guidance services within the public employment centers in Tuscany. We also work with many schools in Italy, providing services related to career guidance and career development. We also provide, we also own a digital platform, a software called Sorprendo, which is the Italian software for career guidance. And we have an intense work in terms of R&D within the company, with a team that works on European projects as energy and empowerment for research and development within the company. This is it for Centro Studi Pluriversum. We also have two other partners which are connected online, one from Germany and one from Spain. So if you don't mind, I will launch the video.
Hello, good morning. I'm Peter Weber. I'm professor for career guidance and counseling in Germany at the University of Applied Labor Studies in Mannheim. Partner and member in the Careers Around Me project. And this week in the European Career Week, I will present some results and some products from our project. Unfortunately, I'm not able to here in Prague, but in times of digitalization and with virtual conferences, I'm happy to take part from distance. And I wish you a good conference. I wish you a good career week and a good international. All the people who have provided the preparation for this career week. And I'm happy that on Wednesday I can take part here with our work here in Germany. I will present career management skills for unemployed adults, finding out what measures and activities can support adults in gaining better career management skills. And also on Wednesday, I will speak about evaluating activities in developing career management skills. Till we see us, I wish you a good work and good conference, and thank you. Coming to Prague, and thank you for being in career management, skills development, our framework, and our results for the project. Thank you.
Hello, good morning. My name is Cristina Zeinos and I am part of the Spanish team. I and my colleagues, Elena Fernandez and Miguel Nogueira, are teachers at the Faculty of Science Education at the University of Santiago de Compostela. All of us are part of a research group, which its main research lines are diagnostic and educational and vocational guidance. This time it was not possible to be in present in the meeting, but we are happy to be online and to have the opportunity and to share with you this experience and the main topics which will be treated about careers project. So welcome everyone and enjoy this event.
Okay, so this is the consortium, as you have seen. So let me tell you a few words on the project itself. So the idea, the aim of the project is to propose a change at a systemic level, working on career management skills, on the potential of this concept. To do so, we worked on three main points, three main lines of work. The first one was to develop a new methodological framework of career management skills. As Andrea said, many frameworks do exist, but we do not have a European level of a communal framework. So the Commission specifically asked for developing a new methodological framework, which could then be applied in different national contexts and to different types of targets. As a second step, the project worked to develop innovative tools, especially digital, to promote the development of career management skills. And last line of work, number 3, the idea is to provide toolkit and resources to improve the quality of the career guidance services different institutions in Europe provide. So the idea is to move to a system, to a policy type of level, to improve quality. So regarding the development of the methodological framework, we're very happy today because this work has been completed in a very successful way despite and regardless of the main the big complex issues we had to face due to the COVID pandemic, to develop the framework, we worked on different aspects. First of all the consortium, all the partners led a very thorough desk research on different topics. And these desk research resulted in the construction, in building a career management skill library. So online, and I'm going to show you in a second, you will be able to see an archive, a repository of documents, reports, literature, videos, presentations on several topics which are about the world of career management skills. So where they come from, different models in Europe, comparative studies, studies on other frameworks of competencies, which are not career management skills, but close to effectiveness, effectiveness of the use of career management skills framework in practice, and other topics. For example, potentials of e-guidance within the work with career management skills, and so on. And I'm going to show you in a second the actual library online. With this foundational work, we then moved to the field with participatory research, and we involved more than 300 people in this study all over Europe. And I'm going to show you briefly some results from this participatory action research that we led. And based on this, so both from desk research, practices on the field, and participatory input, we worked to create the framework. So, as I said, the preliminary type of study we did was based on several lines of research. The first one was to understand career management skills on a political type of level in terms of EU regulations and communications, which Andrea briefly summarized. Then we worked to compare different models all over the world, starting from the US model, Canadian, and then moving to Europe. We then worked with on how to measure and which type of methodologies we can use to measure career management skills development in citizens. And we will have a session at the end of the day on evaluating these aspects. So we'll keep this for later. We worked on to review the studies on the impact of working on career management skills. We then worked on, as I said, other types of models and framework which are close to career management skills framework. Then we try to study the different specificities of targets, of different targets, which we'll need to work with our framework. And then we did a specific study on online tools for e-guidance. In terms of participatory research, as I said, more than 400 people involved with questionnaires and focus groups. So we led several focus groups in different countries of Europe, and I briefly report some highlights from what we found out. With 4 main questions we asked the participants. Participants were experts in many cases, so all those who work with career guidance on the field. So teachers, career guidance counselors, policymakers working on this specific topic. So the first question was, how do organizations decide which type of activities and services to deliver? So what guides practice? And in many, many cases, I'm not presenting you the percentages and the data, the numbers, but in most cases, it's accessibility, availability, and the actual need of the beneficiary that lead the decision of which type of service to provide. So very few, very few experts mention that they decide which type of services based on guidelines and principles or methodological standards. So this was a very important starting point for our project, and this was very common in all the countries involved. The second question was, what is the main learning objective of career guidance activities? And with this question, we try to promote this learning approach in a way. So do you work with a learning type of approach? And if so, what do you work on? And many counselors, many experts reported that they work on the traditional areas of career guidance, so exploration of self and exploration of the world of work and on training opportunities. So these were very clear areas that many of the participants reported. When we asked about the training need, we provided them with a list of areas for training, and this was a way to trigger reflection on new areas of work and the areas that we wanted to include within the model based on literature and practice. And many of them, as you can see in the slide, reported that they would need training, that they would need support on topics which are not the traditional ones, as you can see, but topics that refer to complex world, to having a digital mindset, to making choices and making decisions in a complex world. They requested need on supporting people to develop ethical and sustainable type of thinking, or on entrepreneurial type of approaches, which we in the survey we defined as developing ideas and opportunities to create value, as suggested from the European Commission in the Entracomp. So this is the definition of entrepreneurial mindset. Last question was about tools. So which type of tools would you need, and for what type of areas would you need tools? And again, digital mindset was the main one. Not digital mindset per se, but digital mindset within building a career. So how do we use digital tools? How can we make the best out of digital tools in the process of building my career? Again, with understanding complexities, but also growth mindset. So feeling that you can build and you can improve yourself. So this is a snapshot, a very short summary of what emerged from the participatory research we did. Results will be fully available on the website, as we're working to finalize a document, a paper with all the results. And based on this, so literature, practice, and participatory action research, we developed the framework. A catalog of career management skills areas defined with 3 main levels of descriptors. And any question is more than welcome at this stage, especially for those who listen to this presentation for the first time. So the framework is described with 3 levels of descriptors. The first one is the areas of career management skills, so the learning areas, as you see in many other career management skills frameworks all over the world. And the areas describe skills, attributes, attitudes, and knowledge that the framework seeks to develop in individuals. Together with these, there's an innovative type of descriptor, which is the one in the center, the level of activation. So, career management skills areas, the 6 areas, move from areas where less activation is needed from the individual point of view, to areas where we require more active engagement from the individual. And this helps us define the level of energy, of activation, of engagement from the user's perspective, but also it helps us better understanding which type of services to provide and which services are needed and which type of professionalization and expertise is needed from the counselor or the professional figure who works with the final users, called clients. The last descriptor is the learning process. So, as asked by the Commission, we need to define the catalog and the areas with proficiency levels. And to do so, we refer to a specific learning process, and I'm going to tell you more in a second. So this is briefly the framework. So we've got 6 learning areas, as you can see, which are not located homogeneously in the picture, as you can see. we group them based on these activation, activity, engagement level. As you can see, we use the logo of the project, which is a play button, as a representation of the type of process we would like to trigger working with this framework of competencies. So we would like to promote engagement, activation. We would like individuals and citizens to be active, to manage proactively their life in and within a context. So the circle is the context, is the around me, and the play button is the need, represents the need for career management. So as you can see on the left of the play button, we've got 4 learning areas related to myself, my horizons, my relationships, and my strengths. So these are foundational areas, which I'm going to present to you in detail in a second. The second level is related to monitoring, and the last one is planning. But let me show you a different view of the same model. So if we think of the 3 levels of activation, as I mentioned, we've got 4, a first level with the 4 foundational areas: myself, my horizons, my strengths, and my relationships. And you will find all the details on the project websites. I will not go into each specific skill. We will have a session on the presentation of each area later, but for now, I just tried to present you the overall idea and structure of the framework. So a foundational level related to expanding knowledge. A second level called monitoring and reflecting on my experience, which relates to continuous self-assessment and reflection. And a third level, which is planning my career. In transition times of career development, we need to make decisions and manage plans, and this is the third level. Let me give you a different perspective. So think of these as a cone with a vision from the top. So on top we will have planning and then monitoring and the foundational 4 levels. If there's any question, feel free to ask. In the model, we do not see any developmental progression of learning stages. So it is not that we need to follow foundational level 2, level 3 of activation. But what we know is that the last 2 levels rely on information gathered in the 4 foundational ones. So decision-making as a last, the planning area with decision-making and managing plans will refer both to specific skills related to decision-making, but the type of information and the content of decision-making will rely on information gathered in the 4 foundational areas. I hope this is clear. If there's any question, feel free. And as I said, these layers also helps us thinking of the type of services to provide. And when we think of the 4 foundational levels, areas, we could think of different types of services related to career learning, career information. And here, as professionals, we can also see teachers, or we do not only consider career guidance counselors. And this is a type of learning which can also happen in informal contexts. We know that career learning is a continuous journey which not only happens in schools or in dedicated settings, it happens throughout life in different contexts. So this is the case for all these 4 foundational areas. So, and this helps us understanding who we can support to help citizens develop those skills. And in this case, we might involve teachers, we might involve schools, we might involve sports, and many other activities. So not only dedicated context for career learning, but also informal learning context. When we talk about monitoring and reflecting on my experience, the second level of activation, here we need more professional type of figures. And if you think of all the services for recognition of formal, non-formal, and informal learning, well, this is located here. And this is an area which is expected to happen throughout the career, not in transitions times, but throughout every experience we might live. And this is aimed to help the individual capitalize and value what they're learning, what they're living in a work setting. So managing learning, awareness of achievement, entrepreneurial mindset, so developing ideas and opportunities to create value, and reflecting and balancing life, learning, and work roles. These are the areas within this layer. The last one, as I said, planning will require the most higher level of expertise from the counselor, because here we see career guidance counseling itself. Let me go back briefly to the 6 areas. As you can see, let me focus on the names. Many names come from other models, so we worked in a comparative way to put them together, but at the same time we added some levels of detail, some specific skills which come from recent societal challenges or recent ideas from the literature. For example, you will find within the framework, for example, in area 2, which is exploring new horizons, a specific name, which is horizons. This area relates to traditionally to understanding careers, training opportunities, so studying and exploring the surrounding opportunities, but the name is horizons, and within these we added an element of understanding complexity. We added an element related to sustainability, to ethical thinking. So these are new elements and specificities of this career management skills framework, which you will not find in other. But we found this was particularly important, and this was also a suggestion for many experts we involved in the first stage of the project, who highlighted the need to include in the project also these new elements which are related to most recent societal challenges. Said that, for each skill, we also described different levels of proficiency, and we did these following a specific learning process, which foresees 3 levels plus 1. So each skill, and you will see that in the detailed description on the website, is described with the first level, which foresees the acquisition of knowledge, so acquire. A second level where knowledge is meant to be applied, so demonstration of knowledge. A third level related to personalization, so integration of learning and knowledge. And a fourth level, which is related to action. And this fourth level is used only for describing those skills of the last 2 layers of the model, which, as I said, require more activation from the individual. This was taken from the Canadian blueprint as a starting point and refers to the Bloom's taxonomy of learning. Said that, I think it is time for exploring the 6 areas. And as a consortium, we would like to split the presentation, so each partner will present one area, starting from area 1, which is about discovering self. I don't know who went for that. Okay, please.
Okay. So good morning, everyone. I'm Emanuel van der Nest, and I'm working for the IBW. I'm a colleague of Wolfgang from Vienna, and I would like to give you a short impression of the first area, discovering myself. So what is this area about, discovering myself? Well, it includes several things. It includes the understanding of your own.
The screen and
Okay. the understanding of your own abilities, interests, values, personality, to know and to develop them. Also to recognize your emotions, to use your emotions in a positive way. And it's also about the awareness how this personality affects your own behavior. For example, your behavior and your decision on your career path, which education you choose, which job you choose, your whole career path. So why is this important? Regarding the rapid changes in society in general, but also the changes on labor market and the world of work, it is necessary to adapt to these changes, to seize opportunities on the labor market, in the working world, so on. And yeah, for that it is necessary to be aware of these changes, and also to be aware of your own possibilities, opportunities to further develop your own career decisions, to your own career, and to use emotions, positive emotions, self-confidence, to develop your own career path. This area consists of 3 subskills. The first is self-awareness. So this means, it's like I said, it's understanding and knowing your own personality, your own attitudes, interests, your own qualities, and also the awareness that this self-concept has consequences on your behavior, on your decision-making, which job you choose, and also the awareness that your personal situation is affected by your socioeconomic status, and to use this knowledge in your career path. The second one is self-regulation. Well, this is about emotions, feelings, thoughts, to be aware of them, to recognize them, to understand them, but also to use positive emotions for your life in different situations. For example, in different job situations. Such positive emotions like hope, optimism, to use that in different job situations, and also it's important for interactions with colleagues in the job, for example, and yeah, to develop your own personality for that, lifelong learning, and etc. And the last one is growth mindset. Well, that's the ability to recognize your own potential, your own possibilities, but not only your own possibilities and potential, but also the potential of other people. To understand that, to further develop your own potential, to recognize opportunities, for example, on the labor market, new job possibility, and to seize opportunities, and yeah, also to try out new things. For example, to try out a new job, to try out a new education path, and yeah, to be self-confident and do that for your whole life. And that's especially, like I said, regarding the rapid changes in society, on the labor market, in the world of work, it's important to consider that. So. Next area is exploring new horizons.
Thank you. So the second area is called Exploring New Horizons. Okay. Thank you. It's page 2. Thank you. And this area is about discovering new opportunities and challenges that belongs among other goals to the basic goal of career guidance. Skills that belong to this career management skills area guide how to look ahead and consider various options, possibilities, and opportunities and ways how to achieve them. These skills lead to think about possible changes in life, in social and employment matters, about various aspects of personal and professional development and working life, as well as thinking and considering effects of these changes. At the same time, these skills lead to self-reflection on way of thinking and behaving and how behavior affects others and relations with them. Being equipped with skills in this area of exploring new horizons, this contributes to the optimal use of individual potential, both for personal satisfaction and for well-being of the society. Such skills also contribute to resilience, adaptability, and innovation, and decision-making under uncertainty. To this area of career management skills, belong 3 skills. The first skill is understanding complexity, which covers ability to be aware of complexity of the world that is in constant motion because of globalization, technology, and digitalization development, and related changes in the world of work. It covers also ability to orient oneself in information and to find interconnection among them and to assess them from different angles. The second skill is the understanding career and labor market, which covers ability to search for information about labor market and job opportunities from various sources, to sort them and use them and search for opportunity to achieve better job satisfaction. The third skill is the ethical and sustainable thinking, which covers ability to behave in line with ethical standards, to orient oneself in relationships, to build and maintain correct and healthy relationships, as well as to be able to resolve conflicts. So that's all about this area of skills. And the next one is building relationship.
So regarding this area, we know that having a positive network of relationship is something fundamental for our career development, and we need to be able to build relationships and to collaborate. So within this area, we worked on we proposed 3 skills, 3 sub-skills, which are grouped in 2 aspects. The first one is related to the ability of staying in a group, collaborating, and being empathetic and behaving with empathy. On the other hand, we also have the ability to communicate positively and effectively. So regarding empathy, empathy is defined as the understanding of another person's emotions, experiences, and values, and the provision of appropriate responses, but there's also a behavioral element, to act assertively, value mutual listening, build conflict-free relationship. As you see, in this case, but also in all the other presentations, we also mentioned the references. So the definition of the skills sometimes comes from different skills framework. In this case, LifeConf was the reference one. Together with empathy, I would put collaboration, which is the last one mentioned here, which is engagement in group activity and teamwork, acknowledging and respecting others, working effectively in a group, integrating the different roles to achieve common goals, fundamental in career development. And the last one is about the ability to communicate effectively, using relevant communication strategies, domain-specific codes and tools, depending on the context and the content. If we think of specific activities related to promote these sub-skills, if we think of communication, here we can mention workshops to help clients to build their own CV, for example, cover letters, getting ready for interviews. So this communication here is specifically tailored to the career journey of the individual. So think of these type of activities within this context, this sub-skill. And with this, we can move on to the next one, which is developing my strength. So that will be our part.
My name is Lumița Mitrofan, and I'm a school counselor and part of the Celebrate team, Romania. How do I move the slides? This one, okay. So this area is about developing strengths, personal strengths, which is becoming aware and developing the most relevant elements in relation with self, others, and society at the general level. This concept of developing strengths or building on strengths is very important in our activity. We start to work on strengths beginning with early ages. In school, for example, very simple exercises. Exercise is when you ask little children to tell some personal qualities. It's a first step. And it is very important. Then another aspect refers to openness to new experiences, the feeling of appreciation of one's potential, the capacity for self-reflection, perception of positive self-change, efficiency, flexibility, creativity, the need to address new challenges, and the readiness for growth and development. Each of us is special and valuable, and this is a principle that encourages awareness of our uniqueness and unconditional acceptance of all persons, the responsibility for personal decisions, uniqueness, and autonomy. It also refers to relevant driver for change because the awareness and developing the personal strengths represent the power of people in action in a dynamic world, because we live in a dynamic world, a very fast changing world, and we need to adjust to the challenges that can come with it. My strength refers to 7 elements, this area: digital mindset, critical thinking, flexibility, risk-taking, persistence, resilience, and last but not least, problem solving. Sub-skills, digital mindset. It's a very important sub-skill because we live in a technological world. Technology evolves at a very rapid pace, and we need to adjust to the use of technology because it makes our lives easier. And it's a mindset that we need to develop in our young students. It's an ability that involves the confident, critical, and responsible use of technology, engagement with digital technologies for learning at work and for participation in society, and of course in school. It includes information and data literacy, communication and collaboration, media literacy, digital content creation, including programming, Safety, which refers to including digital well-being and competencies related to cybersecurity, intellectual property, problem solving and critical thinking. Another sub-skill, which is very important and we also try to develop in school, refers to critical thinking, which is the ability to assess information and arguments in order to support reasoned conclusions and develop innovative solutions. It refers to awareness of potential biases in the data and one personal limitation while collecting valid and reliable information and ideas from diverse and reputable sources. Another sub-skill, the third one, is flexibility, which is an ability to manifest an attitude of openness to novel ideas, tools, or ways of doing different things. Being able to deal with uncertainty, it's an ability to manage transitions and face challenges, having the capacity to adjust to new situations and to make adjustments to accommodate changes that come in our lives. Risk-taking is another sub-skill. It's an ability to undertake a task involving a challenge for achievement of a desirable goal in which there is a lack of certainty or a fear of failure. It may also include the exhibiting of certain behaviors whose outcomes may present a risk to the individual or to those associated with him or her. Persistence is another ability and refers to the determination of a person to achieve a goal despite the obstacle and delays that may interfere or may encounter without giving up. It is important to be available for the chances and to try to turn them into opportunities. The persistence in the face of difficulties, as well as the effort and interest that they can mobilize in learning. Resilience is another sub-skill to refer to, is the ability to cope in a positive way and to bounce back in front of an adversity, uncertainty, conflictual situation, but as well as with positive changes such as promotions or increased responsibility. And the last sub-skill refers to problem solving, which is it's a very important ability in everyday life, not only for career management skill. It's the ability to become aware of a problem, first of all, to identify the problem, to understand the relevant steps in approaching that problem, to focus on finding solutions to the problem, applying the strategies that you found in real life, and then to reflect on the result achieved, to see if the solutions implemented worked, and if not, to make adjustment when or if necessary.
For area 5, we've got the Spanish colleagues who are connected. So give me a second. Cristina, we're having an issue. We're having an issue, Cristina. Give us a second. Let me try to fix it. Cristina, please try again. In the meantime, I can go on with the last area while we try to see if Cristina can enter again. fortunately. So area number 6 is about planning my career. And as I said earlier, here the competencies are on 2 levels. The first one is based on competencies specific to decision making and planning, but also this area relies on all the competencies mentioned and presented for the previous areas. So a sound development of those other competencies is the best preparation for effective and successful planning for the career. When thinking of this area, we need to take into account 2 different aspects. First one is rational models for decision making, as used in the literature and in practice for many years, but also according to recent literature, we also need to take into account non-rational or heuristic type of approaches to decision making. So within this area, we need to combine the 2 approaches and aspects related to decision making. And the sub-skills related to this area are actual managing of the decision-making process, and which refers to the ability to plan and implement personal learning and professional goals, and to monitor the plan as well as recognize when you need to change it or to abandon it for a new one. People in this case will need to be able to explore their own decision style. And as said, this is based on knowledge that decision play an important role in career processes and in different career decision styles. And here we need to promote the understanding of how choices are made and to recognize how personal beliefs and social economic context affect decisions. So also an element of metacognition on how different elements impact in the decision-making process. The last sub-skill is about managing plans. So when planning a career step or take a career action, people should take into account dynamic influences and unpredicted events, transitions, and so on. And this competence builds upon knowledge of steps and content of a career plan. As I said, rational planning, but also takes into account the reality of dynamic and unpredictable career dynamic planning. And I think this is it for the last area. Let's see if we manage to go back to monitoring with Christine.
Hello, Anita.
Okay, Christina. Christina, the floor is yours, so you can speak.
But do you hear me okay now?
Yes, Christina, so you can start and move on.
Hello, good morning for everyone from Santiago de Compostela. I am going to present the area of the model number 5. This area is about monitoring and reflecting on my experience. So as you can see, please, in the next slide, this area is about the learning process, involves the competence development that help to maintain and to improve the process. They are especially metacognitive competence that allow people to establish, evaluate, and modify their own goals, their behavior, and their strategies for new learning. We think that this area is important because self-regulated learning is a cyclical process that has 3 phases. As you can see in the slide, the first one is anticipation. So in this phase, the person establishes their main goals and the appropriate strategies to achieve them. The second phase is about execution of this idea, in which people implement strategies and carry out self-control activities. And finally, the third phase is about self-reflection, in which people use previous information and experience to adjust the strategies and restart the learning cycle. Finally, taking into account a theoretical overview, we think that this area is important. We think that it's important to say that the exponential growth of knowledge about careers and autonomous access to resources related to career development in current society require that the learning process be continuous through life, for which these metacognitive competence within that have an important and a key role. About the soft skills that this area include, as you can see in this slide, there are 4 soft skills included. The first one is monitoring lifelong learning achievements. It is an ability to review and track all learning activities developed, learning activities from the formal, non-formal, and informal context. So all these learning activities implies being aware of them, understanding and know the operation of this process, as well as considering the importance of identifying the learning needs, our interests, processes, and learning strategies, as well as the evaluation of the learning outcomes acquired at the end of these learning activities. Secondly, the second sub-skill is self-awareness of my own achievements. It is an ability related to become aware of the total events that are part of personal and labor history of people, taking into account risks and opportunities. So it is essential to identify all these events, reflect on them and their impact in the person. And it's important to consider an ability to identify, review, and apply personal resources in order to contribute to professional development. Thirdly, the next sub-skill is about developing ideas and opportunities to create value, include a better solution to existing and new challenges. So it is related to the ability to understand the relevance of the ideas and the relevance of our ideas to add value of the opportunities and even to understand the challenges. And we think that it is related or referring with the ability to reflect on how challenges can be addressed based on our ideas and act to create new solutions. Finally, there is another sub-skills. This is related with balancing life, learning, and work roles along the training and personal and experience training. So it is related to the ability to understand the different roles that people or the person play and how they change through life and influence one chosen future or lifestyles. So it is related to with ability to reflect on how different roles interact and how roles and lifestyles can be balanced with career development goals. So we think that is an important area to be treated with all the target groups, and our experience was work in this area and all the sub-skills with students of master, and we think that it was a good experience in order to help these students to manage and to plan their next training path or maybe experience path when they finish their studies. Thank you. Bye.
So thank you very much, Cristina, from University of Santiago de Compostela. So we are done for the first section of the morning. Just to give you, let me go back to the agenda. So we will have a break, more or less 15 minutes break. And then we will move on with the application of the framework. So stories and experiences of application of the framework in different contexts. We will start with school, with the contribution of University of Florence and Cenebrai. We will then move to higher education with the contribution of University of Camerino and CityNet. We will then have lunch break and have the afternoon on VET with IBW and public employment services and unemployed adults with colleagues from Germany. In the last part of the day, we will have an active session to experience activities to develop career management skills led by Marcela Luminitza. And then we will have a session on evaluating activities to develop career management skills led by German colleagues. And we will end with a final roundtable at around 5:15. So break now, and we will go back. We will be back in 15, 20 minutes.
of career learning on three aspects: the aspiration of the subject, lifelong guidance, and lifelong learning, or the way in which the knowledge learned at school is processed as a useful element to build one's own life path. In this sense, three international researches show the importance of career learning, by also the state of art, or how much it is still necessary to work in this direction with international action, and ad hoc projects are of particular importance. As for aspiration, the international longitudinal research, youth aspiration and reality of jobs in developing countries dedicated to the transition from education to work identifies a poor and ineffective understanding by young people of the labor market and the world of professionals. This is main cause of the mismatch between personal aspiration and the job position obtained. About half of 15 years old boys and girls for 41 countries say they expect to work by age 30 in one of only 10 no job positions. Regarding the perspective of lifelong guidance, the drawing in the future research with responses from subjects from all over that world shows that 59% of respondents between 7 and 11 years of age have heard of the profession they consider the favorite from parents or family. Only 1% meet a professional at school, while the research nothing in common with a sample 11,000 young people shows that in 70 of cases young people do not know the different profession. Finally, with respect to lifelong learning, in the last 10 years, studies have begun concerning career learning in childhood in this research typology and should be additionally explored. The most significant studies on this type of learning are of the speaking English area and claim the offering children a wide range of opportunities to expose them to knowledge of work, education and transition. Moreover, to actively explore the world and understand the opportunity for their present and future contribute to career development processes in a lifelong learning perspective. If career learning is closely linked to both lifelong learning and lifelong guidance, it is important that this process takes place in school, in career education processes, that take place in early guidance pathways, and they take place with didactic actions that use work as a learning tool and that correlate the notion adopted at school with the world of work. This is a function of a vision of work that doesn't not regard a simple acceptance of the existence, but involves creativity, entrepreneurship, and the ability to imagine a better world, fully the developing potential of knowledge society. This perspective is in line with the shift from career choices to a learning paradigm, also defined by the ELPGM. In this sense, career management skills aim to develop a common competence framework to describe the result of career learning activities in terms of skills and competencies, as well as knowledge, as they will show us the experiences carried out in school by applying the science model built in the project Career Around Me. These experiences also provide tools for collecting, analyzing, synthesizing, and organizing personal education and professional information, as well as the skills to make and implement decision and transition for individual students, teachers, and both management and the school policy level. In this sense, what with it is, I conclude, the experience in schools act directly on the objectives for sustainable development for the 2030 agenda, and in particular on reducing inequalities, since limited aspiration affect the effort and commitment in school, as well as the subjects you choose to study, for example, STEM, and on creating a more just and inclusive school, since the exploration of personal interest and the possible relationship between them and the future world of work. This contributes to acquire knowledge and skill to build one's life and training path, as well as the future ability to manage professional and learning trajectories. On reducing gender inequalities while studies also highlight how this process can help break down social, cultural, gender, and professional stereotypes, as well as promote social mobility. Finally, to promote an economic growth that is inclusive and sustainable, where educational success is not only the conclusion of a cycle of studies, it is also the way to become active citizen capable, change the world sustainable, and a constructive relationship with the present world and the future. This is because significant attention is given to people's real opportunities to choose to live a different life, and to the process and the way a person ends up acting choices. And
so it is now time to talk about experiences. Thank you, Sabina. And now let's talk about some experiences.
Anita, when we access the link to the project, this I prefer with the mouse. It's okay.
I can do it.
It's okay. Okay. Now some experience from Cemebrae activities at school, and already the six areas, and why CMS in the conception of Tristan Hulli. Do you know Tristan Hulli for Derby University and Oslo University, Norwegian? CMS according support individuals in their career development. They know what is important and focus on it as they more to life. CMS provide a framework for careers, professionals and services to deliver coherent and consistent services. That is very important. Now we have a framework as a home to reach our potential, and CMS framework allows career development to be built into all aspects of society. This is the paradigm, this is the whole vision. And also we have the question in our activities, is it too early to implement CMS at the primary school? And here we have some responses after short flight of the evidence-based. So career education should start from the first day a child enters the classroom. Second, thinking about careers during the early years of schooling boosts pupil engagement. It's very important that the students, the pupils see the structure, see the framework, see the theoretical element, the people and the pupils also have the elements of stability. So pupils improve their soft skills and life skills through this CMS in primary school. For this, international studies from other countries show that career-related learning activities can lead to gains in personal attributes like self-efficacy, persistence, and creativity. Also, the pupils, the students who participate at the CMS activities are more motivated to learn. Among the most important disadvantaged children. Focus on broadening horizons and raising aspiration. Sabina already said about the importance of the aspirations. Aspirations, what means? The dream, the big picture, aspiration in the personal level and the professional level. And Nick Chambers said that. It's very important also to enhance confidence, foster a positive attitude towards school. And here we have a very interesting link, primary futures developed in Scotland, in Great Britain, about implementing of CMS at the primary schools. And here we have a beautiful treasure of CMS. This is the Jobland, the project, yes. The Jobland developed with Anita, with Centro Pluriversum, with DEP Institute of Educational Sciences, and the University of Florence, thank you, Anita, and a school, Bilkent from Turkey, Via College from Denmark, a great partnership, nine institutions. And now I want to show you some aspects from this project. I show you the website, the link. The project will work to create set of innovative resources with the aim of preventing early school leaving and empowering pupils to design their future. And for this, we have 6 resources. Okay. Career management skills, a methodological framework for learning at school, very interesting in 6 languages of, I prefer, Anita, to use the mouse. Yes, yes, yes. I am old school. Yes. I will take this. A study created by Institute of Educational Sciences with our contributions. Okay. Much better. This is the methodological framework for career learning at school. Okay. Open. Yes, and it's very important aspects discovering in this because we have here the main areas of a CMS framework, managing myself, managing relations and learning for tomorrow. And after that, we extend to the CMS experience at the leader project. And it's very important, of course, the specific competencies developed for children in primary education, developed by Council, European Council, also, and related with 8 key competencies. Very interesting. And here also we have in this slide area 1, 2, and 3 about positive attitude towards self and to others, managing relationships, emotions, and interactions, and learning for tomorrow. Yes, and here we have the Jobland CMS framework with competencies and example of activities. Also, in our project, Anita, yes, career teaching, yes, the training course to help teachers improve career learning at schools developed by University and for Florence, and also very interesting career learning units for primary school pupils developed at 6 languages, design my future, activities and materials with video tutorials for teachers who want to apply the CMS in primary school. Why not? Here. Design my future. Yes, with activities from units for age 6 years old at 12 years old, My Little Universe, Who I Am, Upgrade Your Emotional Life, Jobs app, How Many Jobs, Careers Around Me. Yes, do you know? Do you see the title of activities? My Perfect Profession, and all the activities are related with the competencies and the area regarding the CMS. Also, I don't know. Yes. Yes, please. No, it's not finished. No, finish. I want to show all the products.
So you want to go back to the website?
Here, thank you, Anita. And here, an educational game because our project Jobland consists to an educational game to introduce and support career learning in primary school. Here is Anita. Also and other participants from other country, Italian version, Spanish version, Romanian version, Turkish version. Yes, here is Ana Maria from Romania. If don't understand maybe too much, I want to see the attitude of my colleague career counselors. He created this movie, The Journey at the Jobland. Very interesting to explore the jobs, to explore the conditions, the material, the resources, and also in the final to discover very important the attitude for the developed the future. And the important competence, the important attitude is curiosity, to have this epistemological curiosity about the progress, about the welfare. Okay. Here, This is the map. It's a challenge, this project, because we develop in the pandemic situation, and it's not very easy to according and to find the best solution. I think this is the project. It was for us the exercise of the competence, understanding the complexity and discovering new horizons. Also, we have a comprehensive handbook for teachers and school counselors with many theories and classifications and understanding very well the concept. And Sabina already some of concept and the theories described. And of course, the last but not least product of our project Jobland, an European virtual training course to help teachers improve career learning at school. And this event, it was really visionary, because this event are a very small budget, because our agency don't understand before the pandemic the importance of online career education. And this Jobland Day collect many peoples, many practitioners, teachers, school counselors, psychologists, and here already we came to see in life, yes, the participation and the present all the activities. And really, in Romania, for example, the students and the primary teachers are very exciting to participate at this. Okay, and now I continue the presentation. I'm here, Anita? No? Here. Okay. After this project, a beautiful project, repeat again, because the Jobland project now in Romania continue, and many teachers take all these products and apply at the schools with the students, with parents, and also with other teachers, for example, at the initial training at the university, who prepare and to offer training for the primary teachers. Also, it's very important this to visualize the Jobland CMS framework that to help children and their growth adventure, and to help them reach their full potential. It's very important to see these 3 areas CMS Jobland already mentioned, and the 5 learning units by CMS inspired by Leader project. Also, it's very important to add the information about the new guidance and counseling curriculum in Romania. This curriculum is based on competencies, and we have already curriculum for personal development curriculum from primary school, and for counseling and personal development for the lower secondary, and also guidance and counseling for vocational training and vocational school. And we mentioned that because we inspiring in this creating curriculum by career management skills paradigm from USA, from Canadian, from Scotland, from Australian blueprint. It was really a very important source of inspiration. Why is very important CMS as evidence-based? As Speranța Țibu mentioned, because we develop a coherent program of guidance and counseling. Guidance and counseling is a continuum, and Sabina mentioned already, during the compulsory education is very important to have in each year that approach. Prevention is very important, because working with all children in an entire class or cohort, for example, to the cycle, an important discipline or syllabus which is focused on the well-being of the child, awareness for own resources and resilience, improving the autonomy of the learning, preparation for the big world, the life after school, career, profession, occupation, job. I don't know, maybe to cope with of the crisis situation. And of course, preoccupation for the health of the person and of the protecting to the environment. And we have 5 developmental areas: self-knowledge, social emotional learning, discovering myself, managing relationship, learning management, monitoring and planning, also career management skills, and healthy style. Very important, this last aspect, but healthy styles emphasis the ability to cope with the crisis, the ability to take the best decision, for example, to risk behavior. Also, we provoke to find the way the CMS as distinct discipline subject, where children can focus explicitly on the development of the competencies proposed by this framework. The aspects regarding career learning are included in all the disciplines as sequences, which assume the development of the proposed competencies within programs and projects at school or local level, and of course in correlation with extracurricular activities, for example, non-formal and informal activities such as dance, sportive, ballet, football, robotics, which are linked to the career learning as starting point in exploring interests and possible futures. And here we have some link for the manuale. Manuale means books for students, but not only for students. .edu.ro, very interesting. And I show you one of them. Yes, for example, second grade, yes. We have very interesting resources and very useful resources for Romania. It's a great opportunity for children to have this. We have here 8 manuals, yes. For example, one of with digital activities, static, dynamic, interactive. Also, the manual. And this manual, all the manuals respect the CMS. And this is very important gain for children and for students. The competencies, yes. Personal map, yes. Self-knowledge and healthy lifestyle with physical characteristic and qualities, exploring the similarities and differences, appreciating diversity, how to care the healthy and the personal hygiene, yes. With many activities from whole experiences. It's very important that from the second grade we explore the metacognition, the monitoring and the reflection for the activities, for the involvement in this. Of course, with a little bit section regarding the theoretical approach, what means me, why it's very important to respect, to be special, and what means this to have care, to manifest care for self. And here some exercises also with creativity circle, yes, and with attractive design. Do you observe a spider? Yes, as a metaphor with elements of portfolio. Yes, these are manuals for second grade, and we are very proud. Now we have here approximately 1,000 pages with exercise and many activities. Okay. Anita, okay. And just right is our request. Yes, some print screen with activities, and Cemebrae thanks for this participation and to be part in this very excellent team of the project. Thank you very much. And sorry for my English again.
Thank you, Marcel. So this was a very extensive overview, but this is a real life example,
yes,
of how career management skills approach was applied into daily life of a practitioner.
Yes.
So how many practitioners do you involve? More than 200, right?
Yes, really.
Right?
Right.
So how many schools?
How many schools? 300 schools. No. Yes, only Bucharest.
So
yes.
I think this is a great evidence of how the career management skills approach can be taken. You saw different frameworks, and this might have been a bit confusing, but the project Marcela is taking on started before the careers project. And give us a second. So you can see the evolution of the framework within what you did.
Yes.
So you started with old frameworks, moving towards this last one. So this is, I think, also a very interesting example of.
Yes, and now we have many followers on this stream.
From your schools as well, right?
Yes. Good. From our school, primary teachers, school counselors, practitioners. Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marcela. And the example from the project called Jobland, as well, is an evidence of this shift towards more complete type of career management skills framework. And as Marcela said, that project was so successful that new projects came out of that one, focusing on specific areas of the framework. So just to mention, I just wanted to give you an example. National projects and European projects just decided to focus on the area exploring new horizons. And in that project, as you saw me in the video, we were in the pandemic context. So we developed digital tools to help children explore the complexity of the surrounding context with digital trips. So it's a digital tour in an imaginary city. And that worked really well for that project, but we wanted to put it into real context. So other projects came out with that specific learning objective. So understanding complexities and exploring careers on a local basis. And I will share with you some of the links. This is a project that we did with digital trips in companies in a province in Italy. And this is another project also in Italy with the same learning objective. And this was done in Lombardia, in a region, with the Association of Enterprises on a regional level, focusing on specific sectors of the economy of the territory. So it is a digital trip with specific learning objectives taken from the career management skills framework of Careers Around Me project. A new Erasmus Plus Key Action 2 project just started, also on this, just to mention. The name is Prime, and you will have the website very soon. As a pilot action of the project, we also in Italy worked with Regione Piemonte, which is in the northwest of Italy, and they, as a regional team of policymakers working on career guidance, they asked Centro Studi Pluriversum to remap the toolkit they've got of resources that career guidance practitioners use in the entire regions, and they asked us to remap the set of tools to the framework. So we are now working in a very fascinating process. On one level, training practitioners on those tools, and at the same time, reshaping the tools based on career learning areas and career management skills. And we're building an online library also with the collaboration of colleagues from CityNet, and a training platform where career management skills are central. And this is a regional example, very powerful and very promising, which is ongoing at the moment, with training of hundreds of practitioners on this. And they have career management in that region. They've got career management skills in the guidelines for practitioners, and they are referring specifically to this framework. So we're very, very happy and very proud of this pilot action. I think it is time to move to older citizens, and I think it is time to talk about academic services. And this part of the morning is provocative because I think it is something very interesting and unique you are about to listen to. So our colleagues from CityNet, as a company working on digital platforms in education, they took the career management skills framework as guidelines, as core coordinates to create a new digital platform for academic services, which comprehends, which has in its different features and components, spaces and features that allow the development of career management skills at a system level, but also for the individual student. I think this session will be a dialogue, right, between Giordano and Andrea. Andrea, I think, is going to add the career management skills highlights on the features, right? So if you agree, I kindly ask you to be a bit far from that. Welcome, so you can be voiced into that. There are 2 microphones for you. And that presentation, which I have as well, but if you have, So give us a second while.
In the meantime, I introduce the presentation. This is an idea that grew up during the Career Around Me project. The idea to create a platform, try to design a platform for our university that should be able to support the improvement of career management skills. Everybody knows that it's quite impossible to improve this kind of skills with only digital tools only, or with a platform only. But we have to support services, students, and colleagues, practitioners with digital tools. The platform, it should be a tool. Try to track students in all their activities, try to track the services in all their activities, in order to look at the match that could be useful to analyze in order to create innovation in services and in processes. So the idea of the platform is try to connect all the academic services in a unique process of tracking. And to do this, we try to think about the career management skills models as a model to create connection between services, to create connection among competencies of practitioners, and try to create a unique system to support students in becoming more aware about their career, about their strengths, about the way they are used to plan their career during the academic journey, and about the opportunities that they could find if they become just a little bit more engaged in the university, in the academic community. Not all the students are used to affect services. few students are used to exploit the services that academic institution provides. Sometimes they have dropped out because students are not engaged in this kind of services. They don't use these services when they need. So we try to stay close to our student, try to implement this kind of platform. And Edustar is a product of Giordano that is just put a lot of effort of his company trying to support the University of Camerino to think about what does it mean be engaged in the university through digital tools. So, Giordano, if you want to introduce Edustat Platform, that is your own creation.
Okay, thank you. Edustat Platform is an innovative digital tool created to support university and their operators to interacting with their students. As Andrea said, the platform works with 18 integrated modules, and from guidance to support and teaching academic journey, from the management of student services, secretary, tutoring activities, up to placement, career service, career day, and the other service for the process of university interaction with students. 18 modules, and we can map 4 different areas. So, first area works on vocational education and guidance. Second area works on academic journey and student daily life. The third area works on tutoring approach and academic support. And finally, the fourth area works on career service, placement, and company interaction. The platform operates according our CMS system, or try to operate, because it's a process that we can build step by step during these years.
And just a few words to explain the process. As you can see from the previous slide, all the areas are linked to the same platform, so the interoperability of the data is quite complete. All the data work in a different area at the same level. So we can manage the situation, we can track students, not only when we talk about their performance in studies. They can track students also when they are in the academic community, when they exploit opportunity coming from guidance office, when they take care about activity, about the career days or the career fair. They can check students when they are in the office and ask for information or ask for services or for counseling. So we can track the same data at the same level at the same moment, and in this way we try to have a picture of our students at any moment of their academic life, not only when they are at the courses or at class, but also when they are involved in other activities that are not used to be tracked generally in the university. So we try to have an idea of our student, the picture of our student, try to follow them in all the different areas with the same digital tools and platform. And this is quite important, because if we want to develop the model into the platform, we have to follow the student, to track the students in different aspects and in different moments when they apply for different services and they improve their academic journey. So we try to develop the platform in this way. This is the idea. Obviously, that during the process, we assume that we cannot try to develop the platform in order to improve all the competencies, all the model areas. we try to focus at different moment, at different modules in a different ways. So we are in progress. This is a work in progress. Now the platform, you can see in the following the presentation, we try to activate different level at different moment and at different modules, in different modules. So this is the rationale of our innovation. We try to implement a platform that is always in progress. Try to develop themselves in order to look at the student as the core, the main target group, not services, not professors, not practitioners, but students. So we try to activate different level at different moment, and now the situation is the situation that I'm going to show you.
Okay. First area, so vocational education and guidance. No? First area, vocational education and guidance, obviously is an area dedicated to helping students to orient themselves and better understand their possible university study path on their professional career in the future. So we can present courses and possible future work. The model can organize open day, meeting, and other events to push curiosity, to knowledge, and encourage interaction between students and university. It's very important, an online presence to support future students. So seminar, meetings, one-to-one counseling with expert, professor, the other students. And there is another area dedicated to share advices, content, resources between university and school. So we can encourage and enlarge a relationship between school and university.
So in this first area, we try to focus on discovering myself, especially in the soft skills called self-awareness, because we would like that students at early guidance are able to be aware about what is the university, what is the opportunity that university provides in terms of guidance, not only in terms of training offers, so degree courses and so on, but also the support that the university could provide for pupil students that want to be aware about what is the life, the educational pathway after the schools. So this is the area where we focus on. We would like to try to develop self-awareness of students that need to be when they are in the transition phase from school to university, or to the labor market, or to the vocational training. So we try to give this kind of support, exploiting the platform, providing advice, providing information, providing online counseling, and trying to link this to the improvement of the skills. Another important soft skills that we try to develop with the platform is understanding career labor market. We provide information about the opportunity and the possibility that the university could bring in the life of people when they decide to be enrolled in the university. We try to depict careers, possible careers, try to understand what is the implication of these careers, not only in terms of salary, competencies, technical skills, but also try to define the social awareness, the social role of that professionals in the future. Try to let this young student be aware that the job that they are going to attend in 5 years is important not only for their family but also for the society at large. We try to give this kind of value principle at the beginning of the university because for us it's important that they are people very engaged in their course, and this is start before they enter into the university. So the content that we could achieve with the platform, it's useful also to provide this kind of information, this kind of content. And what we want to do is try to implement other area in this part of the platform that should be focused on building relationship. We would like that the platform could be useful also to prepare future students to be engaged in our university. So we are thinking to other tools that could be components of the first part of the platform that are focused on empathy, collaboration, and communication among students. We would like to create a sort of pre-engagement, pre-academic engagement when the students start thinking to be enrolled at the University of Camerino. And another area is developing my strengths in the social skills of critical thinking. Most of the students need to develop these skills when they start university, because sometimes they are, if you are not able to think about difficulties in a different point of view, try to understand how can overcome the difficulty when they are at the university, especially when they enter in the university during the first year. Most of them came at risk of dropout, and most of them drop out, especially in the University of Camerino, because, as I told you, as a scientific university, so the problem comes earlier, not as other. So we try to develop the platform in this way. Now we are working in this area in order to create this and complete the first part of the platform with this area and these skills of the career around me model.
Okay. Obviously, when the platform works, we are able to collect several data, so we can know how many future students are oriented. For example, what are the ways, the media, the events, and the activity done, when the school, where are the school, the territories, the operator, more involved in the action. And we are able to know how many oriented students have then enrolled in the university, and we could analyze their study performance, for example, in the time. So we are able to detect and analyze students' areas of interest and the trends of interest of students.
And this is very, very, very important, because if you want that the students are able to monitoring and reflecting on their experience, we could be able not only to provide counseling, general counseling, but we need to personalize this kind of counseling, and we need to be able to personalize services. So with the use of the platform, we are able to have a picture of the students immediately when they come to ask for something. So this is the way why we think we could support the monitoring and reflecting. I mean, the reflecting is, the monitoring is a part of the model that we are able to support if we are engaged in the process of student journey. To do this, we analyze lots of data that come from the platform, and when the students come, are immediately able to give them the picture of their situation, not only in terms of student performance, but also in the interest, trends of their academic journey. So we can support students not only to improve a critical reflection on their studies, but also a critical reflection on their academic conduct.
Okay. The second area works on academic career and student daily life. Obviously, is a digital model dedicated to manage all the university information and activities, but we are able to collect several information, like, for example, student academic performance and average between different clusters if we can set different clusters for the students. We can know the average study timing per course, for example, and we can know the interest and approach to the courses, didactic areas, and so on. We can understand all the interaction in platform. So we are able to map dropout rates and course changes and the trends, and their trends in the time.
This is important because we should develop digital mindset of our students. They need to be used to check and open the platform when they have a specific needs concerning their specific course or subject of matters. And sometimes students are not used to open the platform but are used to open the platform when another student are looking at the platform. That's something that it's not a group that not grow up for a real interest, but for curiosity at the most of the time. We should use to let the student be aware about the importance of the digital mindset, not just for interest, but also for needs. And this is important for us because sometimes we receive, our offices, services, receive a huge amount of phone calls that ask for how can I run the platform, how can I use the platform, I cannot find in the platform this, what does it mean this, how can you use this? It's something that occurs when we don't have digital mindset in our academic student. And this is a part of the work that is very boring for our practitioners that are more focused in counseling, in provide activities, in organize activities that are used to develop competencies and are not used to provide general information about how does the platform could be used or what the platform is used to. So this is an aspect where we try to develop with the platform, let them be much more user-friendly as possible, as smarter as possible, because we would like that our students don't ask how to use the platform, but we would like that our students ask after using the platform how can improve something. This is the general. And another reflection is how to improve the level of monitoring. During the first part of the platform, we are talking about students that are in transition. They should come from the schools to the university. In this area, we are working on a student that should be improve the level of these competencies, try to apply the reflection and the data that receive, the information that they receive from the offices in order to improve their academic career, in order to be much more aware about their situation. They should be able to become better students in this area because they are in the middle of the university journey. So in this, with the platform, we try to improve digital mindset at high level of activation, higher level of activation, and we try to improve monitoring in the academic career at a level that is not the first, the entry level, but at a high level that could support students in planning and reflecting of their career during the journey.
Okay, the third area, work on tutoring approach and academic support. We have two different apps. The first app is an app that can help the students to enjoy university academic journey day by day. So the app allow the student to sit to reserve a seat in library or in classroom, to following lesson online, to research material, and so on. And the second app can want to help the student to increase the awareness and to helping them to manage the time spent studying during the academic journey, increasing their organization and simplifying the resources available. The idea is to empower students to interact with tutors and to take their study responsibility. 3 milestones of this project and this app. First step is to create a student profile. So we can know if the student is a full-time student or is a worker student, if is live
if the campus is or not,
live in university, or how many hours he spent in study or in anything else,
other activities, sports,
friends, and so on. The second step is
just to clarify, this is the first, when you enter the app, the 2 apps we presented is the core of the process, because this is the gene of our platform. When you start using this app in your mobile phone, you start a sort of training, because you became aware of a lot of things that you can do during the academic journey. You start using the app as tools that are not only think to be a sort of management system of your career, but also are tools that could support the process of career guidance, the improvement of the competencies. And in the first part of the first app is think to let the student be aware about all the information that could need during their journey. So this is a practical app that gives you the opportunity to not only to take a seat on a library or in the classroom, but also to be aware of your duties. So the calendar of your lesson, the calendar of your duties that are maybe affect laboratories or other aspects that affect your career journey. In the other one, you are not also able to understand your duties in terms of academic journey, but you are also able to understand the interaction between your academic duties and your daily life duties. So the free time and academic time are connected, and at the first level of you receive a profile of your avatar that show you how are engaged in your academic journey and what kind of problem you can occur if you don't start to think about changing something in your academic life. And you receive a simple student's profile. You are very engaged, you need to be more engaged, you are a little bit lazy, or you are a very good student, something like that, nothing more.
The second step is indicate which courses to follow and which exam the students intend to sit in the following session. So thanks to this information, we are able to calculate the number of average hours that the student will have to dedicate to studying every day.
Based on their attitudes and habits in the normal life, the free times.
According to their profile, student profile, obviously. So the app reminds the students which classes or laboratory he should attend per day to achieve the target, reminds how many hours he should study per day to achieve her target, and ask day by day for confirmation about the achievement of the daily activities that should have been carried out daily.
The app is based on a very well-known approach that is the approach that are in all the app that work on the health app for the healthy. So it's asked at the beginning. It's asked about what do you think you are. Then ask what is your expectation for your journey, and then try to monitor and give you advice about your expectation if they are going to be achieved or not in accordance with your daily life.
In the app, with the color of the boxes, day by day immediately show the student situation. Red, there are the problem, and green, it's okay.
You are in the right line.
The app also offer the other useful tools which can help the students. An online chat with the tutor, and a section where the student can download materials, resources, slides, and so on. And this is another way to encourage engagement with the tutors, between tutors and students.
In back office, students can look at the students' careers, so they have an idea about the students' performance. When they saw, for example, that the students enroll at the same exam for 3 times and never pass the exam, they can take contact directly with the chat with a simple message. Hey, Mario, everything is okay? Do you have some problem? Why you don't contact the tutoring office? If you have some problem, we are at a complete disposal. Good luck for everything, and we are here for you. Just a message like this. But we can take contact with the app immediately after in back office they underline some problems with the students. So the practitioners are always engaged in the process because they have with this app the opportunity to check for students that couldn't go in drop out or another problem risk. So it's quite easy to imagine that the 2 applications are designed to improve a lot of the skills that are into the careers around the new model. And also the level of application are high because it's the app have a direct impact on the daily life of our students and on the daily life of our practitioners. So it's the idea is quite to implement self-awareness and growth mindset in the area of discovering myself, and try to let the student to understand the complexity of the academic journey that have no impact only in the studies or in the interaction with other people, but also have impact on lots of other aspects of the student's life. And so we also try to implement collaboration and communication with the services and practitioners, but also among students, because another aspect of the app that Giordano tells us is the possibility to create system for peer tutoring among different students, senior and junior students, because the app is a tool that would like to implement also communication among students, senior and junior students, in order to be effective in preventing risk and dropout. So collaboration, communication is a huge part of the application. Developing my strength, because using everyday app, the app will give you advice. Do you have done this? Do you have attended this class? Do you have studied enough, as you stated at the beginning of the journey? Do you respect your duty? Your duty, what you choose, not what someone else chooses for you. So we try to develop also a sort of critical thinking. Flexibility, because the app is not something fixed. You can change your objective, you can tune your choices every time, and the app is able to change your pathway. So it's something that could support critical thinking in this way, and also flexibility. Risk-taking. If you want to spend 8 hours in the gym and 8 hours in studies, it's obvious that it's a risk because you don't have time for your girlfriend or you have time to go in class. So you have to learn to take risk when you take some decision. So this is another important aspect that you can improve using the app. Persistent and problem solving. You have through the app, you could have a gym to be able to pursue with passion your objectives. If you want to achieve your goal, you have to put some passion in what you are doing. And the app could stress this aspect because it is think like a gym for students. Also the graphic, the icon, the logic of the app, it's something that it's a game, no? It's a sort of serious game. And also problem solving because the app put the student in front of their limits and their problem. So they have to learn to solve the problem, exploit sometimes services, sometimes your colleagues, and sometimes the resources that the university provide for specific subject matters or other aspects. And also the app is a very huge and potential tools for monitoring and reflecting of the experience, the academic experience. This is the part of the platform that is going to be developed with other projects that affect new technology. I'm going to see in the last 2 slides what does it mean using this approach for improving the services with new technology. But obviously the system of advertising that the app provide to students is a system thought to improve monitoring and reflecting skills in students. And also is a way to plan careers, but this is obvious. If you use the app, you have to decide how many exams do you attend, how many hours do you spend in class, how many hours do you spend studying, how many hours do you spend in activities that are not specifically referred to the academic life. You have to have clearly in mind what does it mean your daily life, combining free time and academic time, so duty and pleasure at the same time. So this is important for planning careers, manage the choice that the student have done, and take decision on the process. So I have to change something or not? How can I improve my performance changing something? If I decide to change something, or I decide to change something just to tune my pleasures or my free time. Do you have to commit with your university and commit with your daily life? Try to take decision directly on the app, changing your study plan.
Okay. The fourth area works on career service, placement, and company interaction. The platform allows several possibilities to support placement services and to analyze results. It's possible to fix specific career service target for each student or for each cluster. If university create a student cluster, it's possible to organize and manage meeting, seminar, students, and company interaction. It's possible to design career management skill activities for each student or for each cluster. But the platform allows to share content on different topics like work perspective, labor market, careers management skill, company presentation, meeting and events, interactive laboratories, and so on. And the profiling action can help to support student to increase his personal awareness about, for example, talents, interests, favorite skills, knowledge, and market trends too.
And this is the last part of the platform. When we are at the end of the academic journey, we should support students in looking for a job, try to understand which is the best career for them, try to let understand that the degree is not a certificate that are immediately linked to the specific professionals. We try to support in the platform, let this process much more effective, because students start thinking to the careers immediately using their mobile phone and looking for information through internet, and they don't need to create a sort of let's say, ambiguous of fox in their mind. They have immediately the idea that if you want to look at a company, they can have a platform that support the matching. If you want to look information about where the professionals are best placed in the labor market in Italy or in Europe, they could find information. If you want to look for information to be an experience abroad, they need to find immediately the opportunity not only to receive information, but to receive the possibility to fulfill application for this, and try to be immediately effective in their activity for looking for a job or experience abroad, in a company abroad. So in this sense, the platform is a unique opportunity to explore new horizons immediately, to develop your strengths, because you can get an interview with a company in 2 days maximum. So you can interact immediately, you can take the challenge of the labor market immediately when you decide that you are ready. If you're looking for support for your CV to create your video portfolio or other activity, you have the link to the office that could support at distance, or you can take an appointment and try to build your own portfolio or CV. And everything is up to the student. If you are able to engage student with the platform and with the services, at the end we are quite sure that receive this input, and that we'll be able to ask for information, ask for support at the end of the journey. And this is a way also to let the platform be aware for future development. In this case, the work that we are carrying on is about building relation, in particular communication. We would like that platform would be something to create connection among students, alumni, and companies, managers. Sometimes in Italy in particular, students and graduates are not connected. So we create an association of alumni, and we try to interact with the alumni association through the platform. This is quite important. We would like to implement this part of the platform to let graduates and students be connected, not only 1 day per year when we have the career fair, but we would like to create this connection along the academic years, when the student needs to have some suggestion from seniors, from graduates that are already in the labor market. This is the main idea.
But work opportunities too, for example,
Yes.
information and so on.
Yes, because sometimes jobs opportunity comes from peers. So it's quite useful to create this connection from alumni to students and vice versa. So this is another way that the monitoring and reflecting on my experience also is something that is repeated in all the module of the platform, because if you are not able to monitor and reflecting of our experience at different level, at different step of our journey, it's quite difficult at the end to have a general picture of our experience, and it's quite difficult for the practitioner could support effectively your process of growth and improvement. So in this area, we are going to develop in the next months the opportunity that to create information, to create activities that are focused on what can I do to improve myself after graduation. Lifelong learning is a process that is not very clear in mind in students. We need to create this mindset during the academic journey. They should understand that learning does not finish when they are going to be graduate, but finish life in never. So this is what we would like to create in a specific section of the platform to improve this specific area. And also, it could be important to create some tools. We are thinking about a project that could improve an application for self-awareness of their own achievement. Because also when they enter into the labor market, they should continue to be aware about the achievement to improve their careers. It's something that sometimes it's a task that occurs for the company, for the human resource offices of the company. But people are not used to monitor, to have a self-awareness of their achievement. So we would like to let our students be aware also of this aspect, maybe exploiting and developing another application. And obviously, that the area gives the opportunity during the career fair or during the company interview to be able to manage the plan. They can schedule an interview along the years. They can schedule massive interview during the career fair. They can enroll in a different activities, seminars with Anita, with other aspects that are all the time involved in our university. But they need to have a plan, not only a study plan for the academic journey, but also a plan to improve this kind of competencies, especially when they are at the end of this journey and they need these competencies in particular. At the end of the academic journey, students, they have to face another transition, the most hard, the most heavy, the most important maybe. So the platform in the first area try to let this transition easier, effective, and successful. And this is just a resume of the platform. That is a platform designed for students. It's a student-centered approach that we use. And the core of the platform is the career model. And at the core of the model, there are the two applications, the two apps that you can download in your mobile phone, the app for student and the app for tutoring. And this is the core area because it's the area that give us data, information suitable for the improvement of innovative technologies. So that's a brief overview of the next step of our platform. We are working on these sub-skills of the careers model areas. We would like to create tools and resources for growth mindset. We want to improve the engagement of our students because we cannot let these services or this platform be available for smaller groups or few students. We have to enlarge the opportunity of the platform for all our students that sometimes really don't know about the existence of this kind of platform or kind of services that support their growth. So we try to work on growth mindset, exploring new horizons. We would like to create a repository and data warehouse where the student can find information at any moment in order to reflect on the importance of their journey, the importance of their future role in the society. This is now the main focus of our project. We would like that our students are not only be aware about the professionals that they are going to achieve in after the academic journey, but we would like that they are going to be aware about their position in the society. Value, principle, and ethical principle are now important because I think that we are in a specific period where this could make the difference for our students in looking for a job or create their careers. And developing my strengths, resilience. We are not talking about resilience because it's something that occurs when we are able to keep challenges that come from the context. Anita before talked about the context. The context is the place where we are going to take and overcome challenges every day. So we try to create with the use of new technology some serious games. We are now focused, for example, just to give an example, on escape room game, because we would like to let the student be enjoy when we try in front of some challenges, and we would like that we are able to face these challenges, exploiting their knowledge, their emotional learning, their capability to overcome difficulties, exploring different aspects of their personality. And now we are focused on also creating this kind of games for the platform to create a serious game for students. And also we are developing a system of machine learning, try to create a predictive model for student performance, not to tell students who we are, but to support the process of learning. Because if you are going to use the app every day, if you are going to use the platform every day, we have a very huge amount of data that could support artificial intelligence to be more effective to the students' problem, to the risk that the student could occur in their journey. We would like to use artificial intelligence and serious game, trying to complete the platform and let the platform be very effective in respect of the careers around me moments.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you very much. I don't know if there's any question. We could discuss it even after the lunch break if you want, and keep the discussion also during the lunch break. So we will close the streaming now. So we will come back at 2:30 for the afternoon session. So thank you very much, everyone, in presence and online, and see you after lunch.